All right, David back again, folks, with another review. It is now the 3rd of March. It was the 2nd of March when I got here at the Grand Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I saw The Monkey 10:30 showing. I'm gonna get my preliminary thoughts here as I make my way home. Oh boy, I tell you what, 2 or 3 months ago I would never have thought that coming down here on a Sunday night, not Saturday night, because I have obligations on Sunday morning, and well, I just never would have thought that coming down here on a Sunday night to see either thrillers or horror movies. Well, I did see Sonic 3, even though I don't have my review up yet, but mostly I've mostly been watching thrillers and horror movies at this theater. I plan to come back and watch Last Breath next Sunday, and believe it or not, there were a couple of horror movies because I just saw The Monkey, and a couple of horror movie trailers were before that. I think I might actually watch one of them, not the stupid, goofy-looking one, but that one where they're walking backwards and they keep dying over and over again and landing in the same place each time. And that actually was like, man, there's a lot of different things in this movie. I think I actually want to come see this, and I just never would have thought I would be doing this just a little while ago, but this is fun. I'm, as I've said in previous videos, I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and so I can't do something that I love like watching a movie in the movie theater unless I jump on the opportunity while I'm on my 34-hour break here at home. And I'm loving this. And the big thing with me when I saw the trailer for The Monkey a few days ago was like, man, I haven't seen this guy, Theo James, in anything since those Divergent. I saw the first Divergent movie and I said, man, I like this. I need to watch the rest of it. But I really want to. Way back when I did my review of the first film, I said, you know what, I'm gonna read these books, and I still haven't read them, so I need to read them and then finish that series of movies and get my reviews of them up. But anyway, seeing him after almost 10 years, I guess it is, in the trailer for The Monkey, and the way they did the trailer, I thought, you know what, I can't believe I want to see this junk. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go take another chance. And yet again, I enjoyed the flick. I really did. And I think that since he played dual roles, he played twins in this. This guy, I believe, needs at least a Golden Globe for what I just saw, man. It was just thoroughly entertaining, Theo James. And yeah, he sold the trailer, and then he made this movie. I'm glad that I can say, and this was like the litmus test, if you will, for me, because I drive 60 miles, maybe about 55, 58, something like that. 110 miles at least, over 110 miles round trip from home to here. And I'm just thinking, is that drive going to be worth it when I see this movie? Is this movie going to be worth it? It was worth it. I enjoyed this flick thoroughly. And I just wanted to get that out of the way. First things first, and of course I'll go into more detail when I get home. It's going to be about 1:30 in the morning before I get home, and yeah, I guess I'll wait till then to get into some of the details, and I promise I'll endeavor to keep it shorter than my previous reviews have been. But you know me, I like to add in some spoilers and really get into what I remember from what I just saw of the movie. And I know I'm going to end up taking a good little chunk of time, take my time, and it'll be I'll still try and keep it under 30 minutes. I will, and just tell you the parts that I liked and anything that I didn't, which, because of the kind of movie this is, horror. And I just want to say again, I'm not really a horror guy, but I did enjoy this movie. To me, this whole thing came off as I was about halfway through the movie, maybe a little more than half, when I was thinking to myself, you know what? There's the quirkiness about this particular horror tale is that I thought to myself, if the Addams Family were actually a horror instead of more of a comedy, a gothic comedy type thing, with the how does the song go there? I can't remember their kooky and is that the words? I can't remember the words now. I thought that's what this movie would be because of the quirkiness and some of the unexpected things that happen. Anyways, let me get into it more when I get home, just in case the audio is just horrible in this car right now. See you then. All right, folks. All right, I am back home. Now let's do this. Break out the receipt and same old. Just a Walmart receipt looking thing. But can you even see the monkey? 10:30 p.m. on the 2nd. Maybe. I don't know. See, G7. There was me and a couple of couples came in for a total of 5 people, and about 3/4 of the movie, maybe not even that, the people who sat behind me, they left, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? This is a good movie. I was enjoying it thoroughly. I just was, and but the other couple, they hung in there. I really should have. I really need to catch a slightly earlier showing than what I did tonight because it's 1:30 in the morning, 1:34 a.m. Hopefully, I'll be done with this review by 2 a.m. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I like the monkey. I'm going to look at the IMDb page to get some people's names correct here. Tatiana Maslany as Lois Shelburne. I haven't seen the Hulk show, She-Hulk, Attorney at whatever, with the twerking and whatnot. I'm not watching that show. That's not interesting to me. But I know she's in it. She's in this, and I liked her. I liked her in it and the role that she played, such as it is, because it's like if the Adams Family were a horror instead of a comedy, and then on steroids, she's almost like Morticia Adams. Like, and she's just, I'm thinking, who talks this way to a kid, to her own 2 sons, after a funeral, when at the start of the film, one of the monkey's first incidental victims, the way it kills people through a curse, basically through uh, how do you say it? Uh, the way it kills people, the way it does. It was the babysitter. Why isn't she one of the people on here? Sarah Levy was Ida. She was the aunt. Janet Kidder was the realtor lady who was also so quirky. Again, so many of these people look like something out of an Addams Family episode or something. Oz Perkins as Chip. He was barely in that. And again, all of them were bad. All of these characters were like, who lives like this? Who talks like this? The way he intoxicated? Was Chip intoxicated in that part of the film where the boys have just lost their mother, Lois, and the boys being Hal, and his twin brother. Uh, why is his name uh, escaping me? I just watched the movie. Hal's evil brother, basically, because it was always his brother when they're children he's constantly ragging on him. He's constantly calling him a dumb shit and running him down. He hates his brother. And so that's what that's what starts that's what makes him use the monkey to, he wanted him to die because he suspected that the monkey somehow was causing people to die. The way their babysitter, during the sushi performance at the Japanese steakhouse place, the Hibachi Steakhouse, she's basically flirting almost with her eyes with the cook and all. That was everything about this movie. It was like one spectacle after another, and the way people act, it's like, who acts like this? It reminds me so much of the Addams Family. But let me start at the beginning. What was the beginning? Just introducing the boys and how, as the adult Theo James, how is narrating the childhood, and I really like the way that I was like, I thought from the trailer we were going to be dealing mostly with adults here. There's a considerable little time that you spend with them as kids in the build up, and I like as I was driving home, I was thinking I like that. I like the way they spent that much time building it up, and then the way in the movie he Hal in his mind he goes back and references and he remembers things, and it's like you're right back to what you were just watching because you spent so much time with the young Lois Shelburne talking to her young sons, the twins, and I just thought, you know what, they did that really well. They did that really well. I just couldn't get over the way he ran his brother down. Why in the world? I'm going to have to go into another page just to remember his name, and I'm going to be ashamed of myself when I look this up and all of a sudden I'm going to see his name, the actual brother's name. Bill. My goodness. Every time I do this, I waste so much time trying to think of one name. Bill. I didn't see that coming. I knew nothing about the monkey as a remake, as related to Stephen King or any of this stuff. I went into this movie cold. The way I'm really enjoying movies more by doing that. And like, just as a side note, I'm not watching any of the big stuff. I'm done with Marvel because of the propaganda stuff and the leftist whatnot, and the fact that these people hate people like me and all the rest of it. The big movies this summer, like especially, I would have gone to see Captain America, uh, Brave New World if I weren't making my little stand on my little hill here. I would like to see Fantastic Four. I'm not going to watch it, and it seemed like there's something else. No, I think that's it as far as the superhero junk. The whatchamacallits. Yeah, the whatchamacallits. Something just stirred right outside of my window. Some animal, and now I'm kind of freaked out. Anyways, Thunderbolts. Yeah, the Thunderbolts. Not really interested in watching that. These smaller movies, I'm getting so much enjoyment out of just alternate movies, just things that are a little bit more obscure, not totally, but yeah, I'm enjoying them much more than the big budget superhero explosion junk that a decade ago I would have been so excited for and would still be excited to go and see, if not for the fact that there's a cultural Cold War going on, and I don't want to participate in it and support people who don't really like me. Now back to this movie. This the, 2 weeks ago I hadn't even heard of this movie, and here I am. I just came back from the movie theater, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Again, I wish I'd caught it earlier, just a couple hours earlier, because my pants were in the dryer. They weren't dry, and that's the only reason I caught the 10:30 showing instead of the 9 o'clock showing. Anyways, Theo James and this guy, I knew it was gonna be him because I remember liking him so much back in that Divergent movie way back when. Hadn't seen him in anything that I can remember at all. And then saw him in this trailer. I'm like, that's that guy. And the way they did the trailer, I'm like, I want to see this. And I did, and I enjoyed it. He did a great job as the older Hal, adult Hal, and basically the evil twin Hal, which he really is. Bill is he's an evil guy. He's an evil guy. Let me go ahead and get through the childhood stuff very quickly. It's over the top bullying that Hal goes through, and it's, yeah, some of it was Bill, some of it was just those kids though, throwing stuff on him and the banana stuff and the girl. Why did he go into the girls? Did he just wander? I didn't realize that. Did he just wander into the girls' bathroom, or were they camped out in the locker room of the boys? And why is the only other credit for like the kids this Kingston Chan, Lieutenant Pepper? She's the only one showing up besides the adult actors on this IMDb. It's not even IMDb. It's just the Google page that comes up. I'm gonna click on a name here real quick. Rohan Campbell played Ricky. That was another interesting character. Where have I seen him from? Where have I seen him from? I don't guess I've seen him in anything. I didn't see uh, Halloween or whatever. Was that him in that? I don't even know. Anyways, as far as people who I recognized, Elijah Wood was the only other person I'm like, where did Elijah Wood come from? He is the replacement husband. This is a part of the movie that I didn't that I was like, where did that come from? Because after finishing up the childhood stuff, and I'll lead into the Elijah Wood thing. Elijah Wood, who played Ted Hammerman, I kid you not. The kids, the opening of the movie was a real attention getter for me. I wish that guy who played the unfortunate clerk who got killed was on here, but he's not on here. Their father, he's not on here either. On this particular page I'm looking at, it said, "No, don't make the monkey raise its arms. If the monkey raises its arms and drums on the drum, then we are all dead." And he's like, "I don't feel dead. I didn't like what in the world is going to happen that's going to cause this man to die after that happened that way." And then they cut to a scene where he's like, "Die, Hellspawn," or whatever. He's got a flamethrower from the guy's shop. The way the movie opens up and he melts the monkey, but that's it did nothing. The next scene is that the monkey's all in a neat little round, very classy looking storage box that he's kept in when he's not being used to kill people, I guess. His so that's me. That's me really putting two and two together about the movie. Now that I'm here and just thinking about it, their father did what Hal does at the very end of the movie. He just accepts what the monkey is, the curse that it is, basically. Because I was thinking of the movie, how are they going to defeat this thing? It's like Smile all over again. How are they going to defeat this thing? What are they going to do? What are they going to do with this thing? It can't be destroyed. And at one point in the movie, Hal says to Bill, "You know it can teleport. Why are you asking how did it get out of that well?" That was one part of the movie that I felt was it a plot hole? Is that what you call it in this case? Because I was like, how did it get out of the well? Because their father had kept it with his knickknacks and stuff and souvenirs from his travels that he was going to pass on to his son. And just like a certain other character in this movie, their mother is trashing him, and he was a flight attendant or whatever, or salesman or whatever the guy did for a job. And he left and he never came back. Maybe the monkey drove him away, I guess. And so Bill is referring to his dad as a deadbeat. And then there's two other characters later on in the story, almost the exact dynamic as that family unit was going through. The dad, father's gone, and the mother is there trashing. He just left, and maybe it's for the best or whatever. Like, who lives this way? These people are so messed up. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. I've been up since 7 a.m. or 7:30 or whatever. Now it's 1:47 a.m. Hal wanted the monkey to kill Bill because he was ruining his life and making him miserable, and it was like a daily tormenting, having to go to the public school and all this stuff and deal with all this garbage. But the monkey basically is what caused their mother to die, and it was a 1 in 400,000 chance that she got a whatchamacallit super long name aneurysm, where it's like you're looking at her like, did she accidentally cut herself? And she slowly turns and looks at Bill, who Bill at least obviously cared about his mother, if nobody else, called her mommy at that age and all this stuff. And the way she's bleeding from this, she's bleeding from that, and she just collapses. It was bad. It was a bad scene. But the way it cuts, the way things are just cut to the next scene in this, your brain instantly registers it as you're watching the movie as, oh, you see where we're going here with this, and it happens like a dozen times in the movie. Hal didn't mean for that to happen to their mother, but Bill came to rightfully put two and two together and blame him, even though he was wrong to seek revenge for this. He didn't understand until the end of the movie, and I'll get to that because I was like, man, what a way to end this movie. It's so it's so crazy and quirky. Quirky to the I think I see one quirky movie and then another movie outdoes it. It's like this movie was just nuts. I guess I've said enough about the kids and their childhood. They're neglected because they don't have the father. Their mother isn't dealing with things in the best way. She says, and that's just life. Everybody dies. You're going to die. I'm going to die. She's got one kid under one arm, another under the other arm. He's eating his ice cream and just thinking about his mother telling them about death and how we're all going to die one day. And then she says, now, enough about that, or whatever, however she says it. Let's go dancing. And then the next scene of them dancing is actually them dancing to music as he's narrating, and he's like, "This might have been the best time of my life," or something like that. And I actually got sucked in by it. I'm like, if that's what you had to work with in your childhood, just think about that for a second. Then, hey, how am I going to argue? How am I going to argue against that? That might have been the best time of your life, of your childhood. How does it end up down the well? Oh yeah, when they're adopted by their aunt and uncle. The aunt, I don't. Well, one thing about it, when he's narrating it, he says the monkey doesn't actually take or accept requests. It doesn't kill who you want it to. It kills whoever it wants to, except the one who turns it. When you turn it, somebody's going to die. And so that's why when we get to this part of the movie where everybody in this town is dying because there's Bill just going to town on the monkey, turning the key, hoping that it finally kills his brother, his dumb SHIT brother, as he insists on calling him, because he hates Hal for whatever reason. We never knew. He just hated him because he was his younger brother. He wanted to kill him because he blames the death of his mother on how he turned that key. It's neat the way he realizes that as an adult and not when they were kids, just figuring out what this monkey is and how it is a curse and all that. It was the teleportation thing was freaking me out. The monkey actually did just the eyes and the way they did the music at one point, even though it instantly stops and you're like, was that supposed to be comic relief or what? Because there's this actual music and zooming in on him when Bill realizes, Hal realizes the monkey that he had left in a certain place is all of a sudden there in his room, and it's like it actually got me going a time or two, especially the time when Hal had chopped the thing up psycho style with a big kitchen knife and black blood or some kind of liquid that would look like blood. And the kid's like, the world is this actual blood? And then he's going crazy. And you're just thinking that maybe like you're him, like this is some demonic thing in your life, and you're just trying to destroy this thing, throws it out, and then it's back. And his brother's like, well, it doesn't look like you chopped it up. It's right there. Both of these kid actors, I don't approve of the cussing, obviously, but as far as their acting, especially Bill being like a bad kid, and Hal also, they were good. I thought these were some good kid actors. And then when they're all grown up, I was thinking that since they had basically turned the key and their horrible uncle Chip, played by Oz Perkins, had died, and that's another time. It's like, okay, they're not just cursed by this monkey; they're cursed by having no sane and decent adults in their life, in their family. It's like He's drinking and he's trying to cheer the kid up, not really cheering him up after the death of their mother, Lois Shelburne, played by Tatiana Maslany. Like, I just want you to know, after he got his arm around the kid, that we're going to do the best we can, but that the best we can do is probably going to be pretty bad. Plus, we're swingers, so there is that. And he's drinking, and you're like, oh my goodness, these kids are traumatized. Who knows how they're going to grow up? And so, skipping to the adult part of their life, I'm thinking, okay, after their uncle was trampled to death randomly by like dozens of horses and his body was turned to mush, and they actually show the sleeping bag of the camp he was in, and it looks so awful. You're thinking, okay, these kids know the curse, they know what's going on. They dump that curse down a well to put the monkey, put chains around it like a something they don't want to get out. You're thinking, okay, as he's narrating this, you understand that Hal is kind of a strange guy because of the what happened to him in his life, because of what he knows has cursed his family, cursed him. And you're thinking, okay, he says he has no friends. It's understandable. He wants to stay away from people. But then as it goes on, like 2 minutes, he must have gotten married and had a kid. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, guy, how did that happen? If you knew you had to stay away from people because the curse might come back and rip up your family some more and kill some of them, and but your family would be in danger. Your child, if you had one, would be in danger. Your wife, da 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 da. But for the sake of the movie and having a son plot in this thing, he had gotten married, had a child, divorced, and here comes Elijah Wood. The first scene you see of him is the one time he's in the movie. Ah, your energy is passing to me. Your energy is passing to me. It's like, what is he, some new age guru or some junk? He goes behind this desk, and I tell you what, maybe it's because I just saw the Trump Zelensky thing a day ago. I thought, man, why does Wood look like Zelensky? Volodymyr Zelensky in this particular clip in this movie, the way he was all doing this stuff. He's like, oh, by the way, you're not in charge anymore. You're not the father. Just a moment ago, your parent. What's the word he used? Your your power came to me. I have the power now. I will be the father of this child. And this guy, Petey, Hal's son, played by Colin O'Brien. Man, he was good. I thought the way he delivered his lines in the car and stuff. I just thought I like this guy. This kid's good. Doing this bit of acting here, and so yeah, in their adulthood, and the killing starts again when their unfortunate aunt. It's like I felt so bad for her because even though dozens of people, hundreds maybe, die in this movie without you really seeing them, because Bill's just turning that monkey key. She's one of the first ones who died to get that kicked off again, and I'm thinking she didn't seem like a horribly bad person, even though I guess if they were swingers, there was that. But it's like she wanted to be friendly to the kids. She wanted to try and do. She hadn't done anything really egregious, I guess. And so I'm thinking when she died, I'm like, oh, this is just bad. First, she falls into a box of fishing lures, and then you see her plucking them out, and the blood is spurting, and then she catches on fire, and then she gets impaled on her own mailbox or her own signpost. Stuff like that. And it's just crazy to me thinking about how he he didn't hate his brother anymore the way he did as a kid. He just wanted to kind of stay away from him. But his brother had a vendetta out against him, and the way he's trying to get him to cooperate, it seems like maybe too long into the movie where he's trying to get Bill like, listen, stop mentioning my son's name. I don't want his name mentioned in anything to do with this for his safety's sake, and don't drag him into anything related to this. You've got to why don't you vanquish it? Why don't you uh what was the word he used? Kill the curse. Why don't you extinguish it, or whatever the word he was? It's in the trailer. Maybe I should go watch it. You know what? What am I thinking? I'm gonna do. Let me do what I've been doing here with some of these reviews. I'm gonna go to the IMDb page and let me share it, and maybe some of these little scenes will uh, help me jog my memory about some of the stuff I just saw. Okay, there she is, She-Hulk. One of the things, one of the scenes that I liked in this movie were it was actually a little bit of closure. Granted, it's all for Hal, the good son, the good twin, that he has this flashback at one point where, or maybe, or was it to, was it to Bill, where she's not got blood flowing out of her nose and eyes and everything when she dies. She actually looks back like as if looking at both of them, looking at Hal and saying, like, "I'm sorry, son, but it's time for me to go," or something to that effect. And the music was just so that it was actually a scene that doesn't end with a jump scare and oh well, it's just another nothingness. Um, but before that, earlier in the movie, there was such a scene where, as you can see over here in the upper left corner, that's what you see in the trailer where the blood's coming out of the eyes and stuff. How um, she said when he asked her for some good advice, this was like the childhood flashback scene where she says, "Oh, good advice. You want some good advice? Take care of your teeth, take care of your gut, and try not to kill everybody around you." And she goes, "Oh," and the mouth opens up wide like it's the mummy and there's blood. And then he wakes up in the hotel room again. And while I'm thinking about that, let me tell you this. There was a scene in this movie that I thought, man, this is a good effect. This is a good effect, man. He's in the hotel room and the aura or whatever of the monkey, he knows it's crept back into his life. I can't remember exactly what had happened. I just remember it was in it when it was in the hotel room. I'm like, oh, what in the world is this? A giant monkey hand while he's sleeping just kind of gently scoops him up. And then you see him falling asleep as he's twirling around, falling down a well the way they had thrown the box with the monkey in it down the well. And it looks almost like a kaleidoscope effect when he's falling, just zooming in and it looks so good. It looks so good. The colors and the greens, and at one point you pass a layer of it where you're like, that was the monkey's eyes, those creepy monkey eyes, just lining the whole thing as he's falling, and the music went well with it. And I'm like, this looks so good. This was a really good effect in this part of the movie. And then all of a sudden he falls gently on this table, and you immediately realize that's exactly the table that he had the monkey on when he was a kid, and he's like he was going to destroy this curse. And so you're like, oh man, this is about to be horrible. This is about to be the goriest thing I've ever seen. All of a sudden this giant uh monkey him has a huge knife. He's still asleep, and when it comes down like it's going to come down on his head, you're like, oh no, we're going to see him chop him up the way he chopped the monkey up. But no, he comes to himself. He wakes up from it just in time. And I'm like, you jokers, man, you you almost did something to me there. I just wanted to say that was a really good sequence in the movie. Let me minimize that there. And this guy right here, the Catholic priest or whatever he's supposed to be, you talk about another weirdo. He doesn't say anything religious. He doesn't say anything really about. He does, well, actually, he does say something about Jesus. I think that's rather maybe blasphemous. No scripture. No, we're here to say goodbye to this person. He was just another person. Everybody in this movie is of that Morticia Adams ilk of, yeah, yeah, we're just here. Maybe it all means something, or maybe it means nothing at all. Maybe this was an accident or not. Um, it's just a flip of the coin, heads or tails. Oh, not heads, because her head is no longer, well, how did he say it? It's a separate issue now. I kid you not. I'm like, this guy is your guy that you're gonna get for the funeral, for the for the anything. It, everybody was like that in this movie. Everybody had there were no normal people.
There were no normal people in this movie. Nobody who you might consider mentally healthy or psychologically balanced, emotionally stable. There he is, um, chopping up the monkey. Uh, oh man, it's 2:03 a.m. I've gone over my mark. Let me go ahead and just keep talking for a minute. The son plot in this movie really is what brings it all home. His son, Petey, that he's trying to protect. At one point in the movie, I'm thinking, Bill obviously wants vengeance. Is he going to kill Bill the way he knows that Hal killed his mother? And I'm thinking to myself as I'm driving home, I'm glad they didn't cross that line in this movie. And that's what makes it a very worthwhile film in my book. They actually stopped there, and it's about these two brothers. This movie is about these two brothers, and it's about how Hal comes to terms with things. Actually, Bill also, but especially Hal, in getting closure. It's about him learning how things are. His relationship with his son was never going to be what it's supposed to be if not for these things happening and the way he ultimately deals with this stuff as he goes along. At the end of the movie, let me go and talk about the end of the movie. When Bill tells um, Petey, turn it, turn the monkey, the key to see what happens, because Petey asks what's going to happen. Turn it and find out. Hal had told him not to, uh, whatever you do when you go in there, because the crazy guy pretending to be a cop had forced him at gunpoint to go in there. So you're like, what in the world is going to happen to Petey? How is this movie going to end? I have no idea. I'm going into this movie completely cold, and I'm just trying to enjoy it as I go. Well, that effect, by the way, of the way the guy died with, I was thinking that I should have known better thinking about it now, but I didn't realize the way the curse worked. Only one person at a time dies. That's basically a rule in this, even though I didn't really pick up on it until just now. When he shot through the glass and left a bullet hole big enough so that those hornets or wasps or whatever they were, those bees, killer bees thing, this huge comb or whatever that nest was of, were they hornets or wasps? They shoot into that truck, that car, in a stream that just goes down the crazy guy. And this guy actually made me laugh earlier in the movie when he knocked on the door at the hotel when uh, Hal was finally opening up. He was on the verge of opening up to Petey about why he hasn't been a good father and why he can't be with him and why he just has too much baggage and he would actually be better off being adopted by Elijah Wood and his I have your energy now. Uh, a top expert, as Petey calls him very sarcastically. The kid who played Petey he was good. He was a really good part of this movie. Um, the guy says, "It's the mother effing police, open up." He has dressed up like a cop with a 38 special, I think, because his dad had this uniform left over from his whatever and left it to his two sons. It's it's a sad thing that there was another couple of boys, no father, same dynamic with the mother as Hal and Bill, and it ended that way for them. The other son, who was dressed up in an army fatigue uniform or BDUs or whatever it was, watching TV, you didn't even see him anymore in the movie after his brother got that gun. But let me get back to this. The way it ended, the way the movie ended. But let me get closure on that first point first. I thought when those things came through, oh great, Hal's gonna die now because all this stuff. No, only one person at a time can die, and so the guy gets a whole body full of hornets, and then you see him all coming out of his skin, coming out of his everything, coming out, his jaws kind of giving way, and you're like, man, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible death we just witnessed there. But the way the movie ends, and I'll try and end this on this and shut up because I know I'm 35 minutes into this thing. I thought just for a second after Bill realized, you know what? I never thought of it that way. He actually says that. Bill, who is so overcome with his selfishness, and she was my mother, he never thought of Lois as being Hal's mother also. Oh yeah, well I guess guess we are brothers and all this stuff. And kudos to the kid actors. Theo James did the character Bill exactly the way that kid was. That kid actor and Theo James are one and the same, man. It was so good. And I was laughing twice when he says, you know what, when Hal is reaching out a hand to him, and the way it was Bill who had been like crying a little bit. He had wrestled with the monkey, like, oh, you're so strong. You're gonna do what I want you to do. You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him until it like slings back into its arm position and slings Hal up against the wall. And you're like thinking, oh, great, did he, Bill? Oh, wait, did it break Bill's arm? And it's like, oh, man, it was it wasn't the usual drum beating at that point. It was like a ferocious, just furious beating, and you're like, okay, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna die? What is this? What's gonna happen? Well, I thought it was gonna be this bowling ball thing that he had set himself. Bill had set up these different booby traps. Petey almost tripped a tripwire on his way into his haunted mansion lair or whatever. And I'm thinking that's what's going to happen here, but that's not what happened. It stopped short of all that, and you get to have this great moment at the end where Hal is actually still trying to reconcile with his brother after he realizes that he had been trying to kill him, that these people have died. You see, oh yeah, that's who died right there. There was a plane crash in the sky, blew up. I thought, what is this? A meteor just landed? And it's actually an alien who's come to collect the monkey who is an alien artifact. That thought crossed my mind in this crazy movie. I'm not kidding. For just about 3 seconds, I was like, what is that falling from the sky? But then I was like, oh, this is the person in a parachute and a dress and junk who, oh my goodness. Why am I so slow? That was from earlier in the movie when Petey had showed brochures because they were going to spend some quality time together. Hal only has 1 week to spend with his son because he's messed up his life so much and he's divorced and all this stuff now. Petey had these brochures for skydiving, and they also do weddings. He said, "Oh my goodness, that was a woman in a wedding dress." Oh man, this movie's horrible. It's like 2 or 3 dead bodies. One fell in the yard, one fell here, one fell through the ceiling. Okay, so you're like, okay, that's who died just then. That's it. No more turning of the key, everybody, or else somebody else is going to die, right? And then how, I can't believe I just realized all that. Oh my goodness. That was another scene where there's a little bit of dialogue and then an instant cut. Petey has the brochures. The brochures are the last thing you see in that part earlier in the movie. Hey, we can go skydiving. Look at these guys. They do this. Oh, they also do weddings. Skip to the next scene where the realtor woman just tried every key until the door opened up and a shotgun fell and blew her to smithereens, just like the woman who fell in the pool that was being electrocuted, and Hal tried to warn her just in time, but it didn't work. She got zapped. Everybody's getting zapped into oblivion. Nobody just kind of gets mangled a little bit. This movie leaves no trace, just blood mist all over Hal in every scene until it, just like in the trailer. Oh my goodness. Let me finally get this out. They manipulate with the music. They really do. I thought at the end of like, wow, they're actually going to be reconciled. They're going to have their brother back again. Hal and Bill. Bill's not going to be trying to kill him anymore. In the next scene, at the ending of the movie, the way Hal and his son Petey are driving along, I thought, just a second ago, I thought it was going to be three guys in a car in a scene like this, the two brothers and Hal's son. No, Hal does this thing twice where he's like going to take Hal and say, ooh, sorry. Twice he does that. Just like when he was a kid. That kid and the actor, the adult actor, did such. It's one and the same person. It's great acting. It's great. It's so well done. It was so good. Twice he fakes him out, and then he takes his hand, and I'm thinking this is wonderful. This actual reconciliation here because Theo James had worked himself up in the character of Bill at the end of this movie into such a state. He had cried. He'd been so angry, this and that, and you're thinking, you know what? This guy's finally finding peace here. The way the music is changing, the way Hal's talking to him about it's not a what I didn't mean to do that. Our mother, I didn't mean that. It was an accident. It was the monkey, and just like when Hal was talking with um, Petey earlier in the hotel room. Listen, I didn't mean to say you were an accident. You're no mistake. I love you. You're precious to me. He's trying to open up to his son, and then he's trying to open up to his brother. And there's this great moment where he's thinking, this is one more thing I didn't see coming in this movie, but I'm glad it's happening. This warm moment. But then the way it ends is the monkey's arm comes down one final time, and then I kid you not, then the bowling ball deal comes through and just knocks Bill's head off, and so Bill dies. And yet again, there's Hal with another abrupt death right in front of him. So many people have died in front of this man in this movie. I didn't see it coming. Let me just say the ending of the movie. Again, if the Addams Family were an actual horror movie, but still trying to be quirky, it would be this movie. The ending is perfect for this movie. The little car ride for a couple minutes with him and Petey, knowing all the people who have died because of all of the slamming of the monkey's hands and drumsticks on this little drum, and the music playing, which is really kind of freaky, kind of spooky in different parts of the movie a couple times. They stop at that stop sign, and Hal's been talking with Petey about, now you see why I am the way I am, how things are, and he's talking about life with him. And then the reference to the reference in the book of Revelation, the pale white horse whose name was Death, they literally have in this movie a horse with kind of a misty smoke and a man who looks like is he a man, or is he there, or is he not? A kind of corporeal looking special effect, like he's on fire but he's not on fire kind of thing. And the way he just looks at him, and the way Hal looks at him for a moment and realizes finally what he is, and the way Hal just kind of, he has this expression on his face saying kind of like, I'm at peace and I understand now what you are, and I get it, and it's okay, kind of a thing. That kind of a head nod to him. Again, great acting by Theo James. The way he did both those characters in the last scenes before Bill died is just incredible to me. I just loved it. And then the man on the pale white horse, he looks at him, gives him kind of a little like that, and just goes on down the road, and doesn't do anything to or for Hal or Petey. And Hal, the way Theo James, he's just looking off into space. There, a couple of the houses on fire. It literally looks like a doomsday end of days scenario there in their little town. Some woman's baby carriage is on fire. Some man was chopped up with a board through him against a tree, and all kind of chaos. Distant screams, and again some random fire here and there, and he's just looking off in the dreariness of the sky, and it's kind of an overcast, and just kind of like a apocalyptic scene overall. Looking up in the sky, and the music's kind of getting a little bit more pleasant in the movie, and he's just thinking, you know what? Let's go dancing. He says to Petey, and Petey's like, dancing? Yeah, dancing. I wish I could remember the exact lines the way that the movie ended, but it's a homage back to the part of the movie where his mother had taught him to dance, basically, and so he's doing that with his son there. That ending was just, I thought, I like it. I like the way this movie ended and played out there because Hal is actually going to have a real relationship with his son now. He's lost his brother, but his brother had deliberately killed a bunch of people, whereas Hal didn't mean for that to happen earlier in their lives. He's got all this closure and he's grown, he's learned, and he's finally accepted some things about life and death and about things that have happened. And it's a neat little tale of somebody learning those things in that way. And I guess that's the best I can say about it for now. I want to say more, but and maybe I will at a later date. Who knows? But for now, I've got to shut up, folks. I've gone on too long as usual. Thank you so much for listening to me. I enjoyed the flick. Hopefully, I'll enjoy the one I see next Sunday, Lord willing. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much. Take care. Keep on keeping on. We'll see you next time.